Hello, Science 10. It's been a while since we've had a class, obviously, due to unforeseen circumstances. I hope everyone is holding up well. Definitely, this is a stressful time. In terms of what the future will look like, I don't have any information beyond what you have. We're basically just following the guidelines set by the provincial government, Ministry of Education. So at this point, classes, on-site classes, are uh, uh, on hold indefinitely. That could change later in the future. You would know at the same time as I would. Um, what um, what we basically want to do going forward is I will be uploading classes every Tuesday. Every Monday and Thursday. Okay, so these will be like the classes. So we'll start with two classes a week, um, and then I'll be at a later point. Like one of the things that's going on right now is I'm sort of getting, I'm learning how to use the technology. I'm sure most of you probably are more tech savvy than I am, so it's been a bit of a transition for me to figure out how to use this technology. Um, but I will be adding office hours, and for the office hours, this will be this will be so again, this will occur at some later date to be determined. And this what this I want this to look like is basically where there's sort of live interaction between me and you, so you can um, you're able to communicate with me in real time. Prior to that, continue using the posts on the Teams app. For the Teams app, there's ways you can send your posts that are open to everyone, to your classmates, and then there's also a way that you can send it directly to me so the classmates can't see it. So whichever way you're more comfortable with, and so you can do that throughout the week, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Um, in terms of where we were in the class, we were near the end part of the chemistry unit. And so for Thursday's class, I'll come back to kind of where we were in the chemistry. I think the last thing I was talking about was acid, bases, and salts. So I'll kind of continue from that. There was a few sections left to cover. So I'll continue with the chemistry unit on Thursday's class. Um, because of what's been going on, I thought it would be good to kind of go back uh, and kind of revisit the biology unit. That was the unit we had started the course in, and it seems like some of the things that we had talked about in the biology unit are very relevant now with what's going on with the coronavirus. And so the first thing I'm going to have you do for Monday's class is I'm going to have you complete this worksheet and then submit it to me use in the assignment section. So what you can do is you can either answer directly on here, and if this isn't enough room, you can answer on a separate sheet of paper. So this worksheet will be an attachment on the assignment section of the Teams app. So you can either answer on here or answer on a separate sheet of paper. And so we never had textbooks to begin with, so don't worry about the textbooks. Just use technology to get the answers to these questions. Okay, so I'll go over the questions here with you. So number one, what's the difference between a bacteria and a virus? So COVID-19 is a viral infection. That's different than a bacterial infection. So what I want you to basically, when you go to the doctors, the first thing they kind of try to figure out is, do you have a bacterial infection or a viral infection? Okay, so what's the difference between bacteria and viruses? Okay, number two, antibodies. Okay, so those are important. They're part of what we call your immune system or your immune response. So what is it that antibodies do? Try to relate the significance of antibodies to what's going on right now with the coronavirus. So you've heard the coronavirus as described as a global pandemic. Okay, so what do we mean by a pandemic? Now, the immune system is basically your body's defenses against infections. Okay, so it's basically how your body fights to regain health. Okay, so there's different things that you can do to improve the strength of your immune system, right? Like for one would be like eating healthy, right? And so what I like to do is think of some other ways, list the ways that you can improve your immune system, and again, in the context of COVID-19, why is having a strong immune system important? We had talked about the DNA sequencing, and then how it led to the the RNA sequencing, the amino acids, the proteins, all that sort of stuff. We talked about different mutations, positive mutations, negative mutations, neutral mutations, and how the positive mutations led to the evolutionary or add to the evolutionary process. So one of the terms that we used, which kind of relates to some of that, is what we call genetic diversity. Okay, so genetic diversity is what makes us all different from each other from a genetic standpoint, from our DNA code. And so in a global pandemic, this one or any other global pandemic prior to this one, why is genetic diversity important in the population of a species? Okay, so think about why that is significant. A term that you're probably hearing quite a bit of by doctors and scientists is flattening the curve. Okay, so what does flattening the curve mean? How do you obtain flattening the curve? And secondly, why is that important? Okay, why do you need to flatten the curve? Okay, so I want you to again describe the significance of that within the context of COVID-19. The transmission method, talk about how an infected person would give COVID-19 to someone else. There's a variety of different transmission methods when you talk about an infection. Like one would be like an animal bite. That would be a way to spread an infection. So for this particular one, what is the method of transmission? Number 8, what are scientists and doctors suggesting the public does to decrease the spread of COVID-19, right? So ideally, you want lowest number of people infected as possible, right? So what are some of the things we as a society can do to get that to happen? Number 9, so the vaccine, there is no vaccine at this point for COVID-19. Estimates are, between 12 and 18 months, there could be a vaccine. So first off, what is a vaccine? Okay, so we've all, when we're born, we get a little booklet that has a vaccination schedule on it. So for a variety of different things, like example would be like smallpox. So what is a vaccine, first off? And secondly, does it take a long time to develop? Right? Like, why can't we have a vaccine right now? Why do we have to wait so long for a vaccine? Number 10, what's the danger of spreading rumors? So this is important in whatever aspect of life you're talking about. It's not a good thing to spread rumors about each other or about things that are going on. So in the context of COVID-19, why can spreading rumors be? What's the problem by spreading rumors? Okay, and then finally, number 11, how are you as a citizen staying informed? Okay, so how are you getting your information? Where are you getting your information from? Who are you relying on, like provincially, federally, globally? How are you keeping track of what's going on, and how are you using that information in terms of how you conduct yourself? Okay, so so this will be a good spot to start. Answer the questions, and then you can submit them to me. So we'll start with that, and then we'll continue back to the chemistry section on Thursday's class. So just to close, again, this is a stressful time for everyone. A lot of adjustments are having to be made. Our way of life has definitely gotten different. Main priority is that you look after yourself, you look after the people around you, you stay safe, okay, conduct yourself in a very safe manner, and try to, in a physical sense, but also a mental sense, look after your wellness. Okay, so that should be the main objective. Okay, so again, I'll communicate with you through the Teams app, through any posts, questions that you have. Again, submit the answers to the worksheet through the Teams app, and then I will upload another class for Thursday. Okay, take care. Bye now.